Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today is 10/25/2016, and let's get right into the charts. We had Apple earnings, and pretty much uneventful. I see a lot of people on StockTwits getting a little crazy. Did pull back. Here's the after-hour action right here in the center. So it is pulling back here, but we are holding an area of support right around this gap window, or 115 or so. So be aware of that. You still have a gap fill around 114. Let's see here, 114.04. Excuse me. But let's see here. Let's get into. Oops. Still trying to figure this stuff out, guys. But yeah, so Apple's very uneventful. Like I said, you have support right here in this gap fill. You had a little bit of support right in the even number of 115. So we'll see if we hold that right now. You do still have a gap fill down in here, but I'm still thinking on Apple. Let's go to the daily. Let's open this up a little bit. You know, daily you have support right here around 115.63. I just want to keep the this thing going here. So you have 115. You know, you have gap fill 114. You have a window here right around 115 or so. So it will be interesting what happens tomorrow with Apple. You know, the SPY's down a little bit after hours, nothing crazy. I think the Qs are a little bit more. Let's see, for 37 cents down, so nothing crazy. But again, you know, they're trying to get it above this area here. We actually closed it above on the Qs yesterday, the all-time high. Came right in, reversed it, and with Apple down and a couple other ones, I think we'll probably end up heading down. We'll know a little bit more tomorrow. Again, we wait for confirmation here, and we didn't get it today. So who knows, though? We can reverse up tomorrow, and Apple starts flying on maybe a stock buyback or an upgrade, or you know, more of the news that is driving the markets lately. If you follow the news, but let's see here. What else did I want to look at? Well, let's get into the SPY. The SPY, same thing. We talked about this. We did a video yesterday. Let's open this up a little higher here. So the SPY, we closed above the 20 MA. We got back below it. We still, did we fill the gap today? I think we just barely did. We posted some support areas in the morning. Let's see if we did. Here's your gap fill right here. And no, it did not fill the gap today. So we still have a gap to fill. Let's see if we open up, gap below it, and possibly come back into this area here around the 213.65. If it gets below that, then you're probably looking at 213.36. This is a 10-minute chart. And ultimately, I think you get back to 212.80 down in here. And I think if that happens, well, still with the elections, though, guys, it's still a wild card. I think they're going to wait until elections. We had 66 million on the day, and that's including after hours action too. So another light volume day on the markets. And today they couldn't claw its way up, 72 cents down. Not a huge downside, but again, just weak inside this bar, consolidating. You're moving up in a bearish manner. You had a bearish play out here, started breaking down. As long as you stay above the 212.41, which they did. And this one almost tested it here, but bam, they bounced it right back up. They tried recapturing the 20 MA. And should you buy? No, James, come on. We'll look at that. Yeah, I see the laugh out loud. Right? You know, I mean, I tell a couple people some areas, and everyone's head pops off on Apple. But the SPY, yeah, I mean, right now we came back below. Let's see where this thing goes. You know, we're still going to watch on the weekly close. Are we back below the 20 MA? Yep, we're back below the 20 MA on the SPY. Yeah, I know you're kidding. I saw the laugh out loud. When I looked up, I was like, buy Apple? Oh my gosh. You know, but you're gonna get that out there tomorrow. Let's go into Apple. You're gonna get that tomorrow. Buy the dips. You know. Right now, let me lift this up here. 115 or so, or 115.08, 115.13 or so. The trade's 115.08. So, you know, let's do a little bit of work on this one, guys. I just don't like any stocks long right now. I'm sorry. I just can't do it. You know, you have, let's just go on this pivot. Let's see what's going on here. Maybe that's why 111. Yeah, you got 111. You got 107.52. You got the 618 at 165. I still think we go back down to 90. If the markets start dumping, the SPY starts going, this thing's going right back down, and you better watch out. So, you know, but you got the gap fill here at 114, 114, I don't know, 13 or so, you know, 114.08. You have the gap window here as well. So you got to be careful with that. But, you know, you got to, you know, stocks like this, 3M, that thing's getting killed. You know, we made a top back here, you know, in July. You get stocks like this. What were some of the other ones today that was catching my eyes? You got Whirlpool. What was Whirlpool? I think that's Whirlpool. You got Whirlpool, made a top back in August. You know, made a top here. Look at that short. You know, I was looking at this one too, and we should have. I was waiting for 200. Man, that's an epic fall. Look at that. You got Whirlpool falling. You got 3M falling. You got some of the big. You got Home Depot coming in. You got all these big players. I mean, Home Depot though, that's a great bearish pattern on the weekly. That thing's starting to set up. I mean, I'm telling you, $100 for Home Depot. It will get there. Just like MCD. MCD can't even catch a bid. MCD, that's another one. When we were shorting it up here, everyone was laughing. We shorted it here, covered half, we shorted it again, boom. You know, when it was 131, 132, everyone was laughing. I told them it's going to $102. Wherever this 200 moving average, that's where it's going. It's getting close. And if the markets start to break down, 102, here we come. But back to Apple, yeah, just be careful. I mean, it didn't do anything. It's down 318 now. It's hitting the even number of 1500. We could pull up the 60-minute here. Let's see, time template, 24-hour. I mean, it's not selling anything crazy, but I mean, I guess they gapped it up. I wasn't around. And you know, all the chasers probably bought it up here, and then they freaking slapped them in the face again. You know, how many times can you get slapped in the face until you stop doing, you know, with your bad habits? You know, this thing goes up, everybody chases, and boom, it comes right back in. But right now, we're just holding that 115 area. I guess we did fill the gap earlier in the last hour or so, but then we got the little bit of a bounce, and boom, right back up. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, you got these stocks like NetEase flying. You know, and everyone's, oh, NetEase is great. Oh my gosh, you got to get in this one, guys. They're sucking everybody in. I'm telling you. Yeah, it might go up a little bit more. Once these things start giving it up, you better look the hell out. They're all going to tank. You know, and then they're starting to already. Let's look at the monthly on this one. I mean, look at this thing. Gosh, I got 272.47, possibly. You know, that was some of my max moves right in here, and look at that. It's almost there. So you guys got to be really, really careful with this one. Another one, NVIDIA. Got to be really, really careful with this. I mean, this one's just getting to be ridiculous. I'm thinking maybe 75 now. This thing gaps up on earnings, you short it with both hands. And no more than 10% of your total portfolio, but come on. And there's people on today, oh, NVIDIA has room to run. Room to run? You kidding me? You know, tell all the people that when they were telling Dollar General, yeah, this one has room to run too. When it got stretched, look what happened, right back down. And then what was the other one today? Oh, well, Twilio. That was another one. But they're in China. They have like 42 billion people. Yeah, look at that chart. That's an ugly one. I posted that one earlier. Now that's ugly. I mean, they got everybody up in here, unfortunately, up in here, and then they're dumping it. You do have support around 38.56, 37.32, around in there. But honestly, it could go back to double bottom here when it IPO'd. That is one ugly sell-off. And just to think we had this thing short, right around $66, right up in this area. You had the top, like I said, you know, I'll go over this. Can you give me analysis on PayPal? I'm long since 35. Oh, get the hell out of that thing. Did they have earnings? Well, here, let me go over Twilio one more time here. But yeah, you're going to have some support. You have a gap filled down at 35, pivot here around 33. But honestly, I think we go back to it's going to be an interesting one, guys. You know what? I didn't put this one in here. Hold on. Let's just do this. Let's see what this one from top to bottom. Yeah, actually, you know what? Where is it? 35.49, $35 maybe. Got a gap fill there too. Let's see how it comes in. But like I said, guys, SPY dumps. You could probably get this one at lower prices. Yeah, guys, The only reason I like Twilio because they got 3 billion people in China. So I'm shorting this one right now. You're an idiot. Well, whoever was buying up here, you know, again, you can have half the price down in here. So just be careful with these high flyers, guys. They're all going up and they're all going to be coming down, I promise. PayPal, yeah, you know what? I think this it did have earnings. You know, you popped on earnings, you're pulling back. I mean, I would watch for the retrace. Let's see where it retraces. It looks like maybe that's 5.0. Yeah, almost a 618. So let's see if it can hold the 618 right here around 42, 43 bucks. If it can hold that, you know. But if it starts getting low, I mean, if you're long since 35, if it breaks down through this bar, this low of the bar, and this big green one here, which is right around 41.87. You got to consider about taking some off the table. It could come down into here at 41.33, but again, they popped up, it's stretched. Let's see on the weekly. This is kind of a new issue. I mean, they spun it off, so it doesn't have a lot of data in it. Yeah, you're going to have some support right here around 42 bucks or so. But if it starts coming in around 41, 40, man, I would take the money and run, James. I wouldn't even mess around with this. Let it come in. If you like it that much, let it come in. If the SPY starts dumping, you can probably get it back at 35 bucks again and try to ride it up again. You know that, but yeah, be careful with these stocks right now. You know, and I'll go back to the SPY. You know, we go over this a lot. And you know that if you follow my videos and everything, you look at the monthly on this thing. You know, I mean, here's your housing, or here's your .com bubble, here's your housing bubble, and where the hell? What do you think's going to happen now? And if you really think we're going up higher, you know, maybe on QE4 news or chatter, but it's almost time, guys. We're running out of time as it is. If it keeps going on and starts chopping, we're going to come down maybe December, January, because with the rate hike, just like last year, it's going to get ugly. I mean, look at this. You go up, 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 up. This one went almost 10-year bull run. This was a 7.8. Now we're right at 7.8 again. Usually bull runs run 7 to 8 years. They'll get extended because of Greenspan kept the rate. Wait, Greenspan kept the rates lower and kept it going. Hey, what's up, Suzanne? How's it going? Well, yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous. And I'm going to keep showing these charts too. You're buying up here. That's why I can't go long on anything. Even if something gets smoked, I mean, maybe for a day or two. Because the problem is, so say, all right, look at EW. I mean, this thing's getting smoked 16 bucks after hours. So you're right here. You're almost right into the 90. You're 97.50, 98.50. So you're up in here. Again, look at this, guys. What high flyer, man! And you know what? I had this one on my radar, and I pulled it off. I didn't see it. Another high flyer. Now it's at after hours. Right now it's at 98 bucks. Look at that. So this is a monthly chart. So in one day they're going to wipe out 4 months of gains in one day. So someone's sitting in here. Whoa, man, this is going up forever. It's Edward. What is it? I don't even know what it is. Edward Sciences, or I call it Edward Scissorhands. But, oh, this is great. Oh, my gosh. And then you wake up and it's like, holy shit, what just happened to this thing? And that's why I can't go long, guys, in these stocks. Because you're going to wake up one day and we're going to be gapping down 500, or we're going to have that 1,000-point down day like we did in August 2015. And then, boom. Yeah, you played earnings. Yeah, earnings. You know what? You can play earnings. Just don't go crazy. You know, if you're going to do an option, take a trade where, it's like gambling then, guys. If you're willing, if you can lose $1,000 on a bet, then that's kind of what you're doing. You're gambling, So like Apple, you can buy a put, maybe $500, see what happens. But again, it's like playing blackjack. You got one hand and you got a 50-50 shot, winning or losing. And if I stay in earnings in a play, it's already, I took profits on it, or I took half off, kind of like Tesoro. We shorted this one. We had a video. It pulled. I mean, we shorted this one. I sold 3/4 of it. Right here we shorted it. Boom, it came right here. I took it off. Look, this is support right here at 110.48. That was my last half of the half, but I still had a quarter position and went right back up in the double top. You know what I did today on this? I shorted it again. I'm back in it again. If it rises up a little higher, I have a little bit more room left to add to it. If it goes up, I'll add some more. Again, look at Tesoro on the monthly. Weekly's a little bit stretched, but then you go to the monthly. This is going up on news, but I made good money on this one already. So I'm willing to put my risk out there a little bit more on doing it again. Again, I don't have a full position. I already took off 3/4 of my position. Now I'm starting to add more, but I want to be in here. So if this thing comes back down another 10 bucks, 15 bucks, boom, I'm out again. Can you believe they're trying to keep the futures flat tonight? Yeah, Frank, that this is their goal. I mean, we had light volume. We're down a little bit. I just can't believe these markets, period. I mean, we're right at that time frame. You got like I always say, if you watch my stuff, the IWM's not leading. The IYT was only down 68 cents. Where'd the transports end up? Oops. Did they let's see, are they under 8,000? Wait a second. Where was the last? 8,019. Yeah, they're barely holding on to the 8,000 number. They get below that, it's going to go straight back down like it always does, over and over and over. But yeah, if you're going to play anything on earnings, just make sure you go light. You could do it. Like Apple, if you wanted to play a put or a call on that, you do a couple $100. If you play it right or get lucky enough and you can maybe double your money in a day, you get the hell out. You don't hold on to it. You take the couple hundred, you say thanks. It's a nice dinner out with my wife. Kind of realization hits everyone that everything's going to hell. It's coming. It's coming. We call when I first started, I went back in my Twitter account. I guess they delete a bunch of shit, but last August or the 2015, we were short the house coming that 1,000-point down day, and I covered everything. Unfortunately, on Twitter, all my shit's gone. All my posts are gone. I guess they only go back a certain amount of time. So I'm going to try to figure out something different where I can post some stuff. But yeah, well, StockTwits I think will do it. But YouTube, I can maybe do some stuff. Yeah, I was short everything. I mean, Google, Amazon, the SPY, the IWM, everything. And when it went down that Monday, it was down 1,000 points. I couldn't even type fast enough. I had to let Twitter go, and I had to do everything after hours because I had so many trades out there, and I made, oh gosh, I'll never forget that day, guys. Put it that way. But yeah, I mean, look at these things. You got Tesoro going up. I mean, and this one's you got the 20 MA at 60 bucks. You're overextended over 100%. I mean, this one's going to end bad. I think it was a takeout maybe. I mean, that's the only reason this thing will maybe hold up. But again, I already traded it. I already made money. I'm back to a little bit better entry from my first time I shorted this one. So whatever, let it go up a little bit more. I'm in a half position, so I'm not even there yet. So even if it goes up more, I'm still ahead on this trade. So I don't really care, which is a great feeling. Love putting on more risk when you can. Visa, they had earnings, right? So they were only down a little bit. Yeah, I mean, look at this head and shoulder pattern. I mean, unfortunately, we came below. We cracked the trend line or the neckline. It came back up, but it never got back above the head, and here it comes back down. Can you go over? It's one of my longs too. So you're long this one? Gosh, I'd start to take some profits if this thing sets up. I mean, this had a head and shoulder, not the best. I mean, I would like to see it crack and go down, but we had a nice retrace back up almost to the high, and it came right back in. It is on earnings, bio earnings this week. Yeah, keep an eye on those as well. That might, I saw Tesoro down. It was down almost $4 too, which was funny. But whatever. Again, if I could get $6, $10, I'll take it again. I don't care. I tell everybody, even if you have 100 shares, it's $1,000. Get the hell out. If you have 1,000 shares, even better. If you have 10,000, that's epic. But that's how you got to play these things, guys. Yeah, I saw Tesoro down. That was funny. Please break down OAS with the oil prices close to that damn OPEC. Oh, turn the OPEC crap off. That's just a bunch of crap. Got to follow the charts. Oil pulled back nice. I'm in that SCO. I hung on to that one. Not a huge position, guys. Nothing crazy, but let me tell you, it's roaring back. Let's look where it is after hours today. It's up $1.50 after hours, so it's coming in. It's almost there. I'm almost in the promised land on this one. I held on for dear life on here. But this is pretty much my stop out area. If it would have got below that and confirmed, I would have been out. Look at that. So they brought it down. They got everyone to sell, brought it up, got some people to chase, brought it back down. Everyone sold. Oh shit, it's going back down, and then got to hold strong. Looking for confirmation on this stuff. So I will short tomorrow. and support. On which one, Suzanne? Tesoro? So I will short it tomorrow and support line at 110. I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Please break down the U.S. With oil prices yet going lower. Put in the ticker symbol you want me to look at, Suzanne. And, you know, I'll go over the USO. That's the one I follow for the oil. Same thing. You know, that this was, you know, we talked about this. We had a nice stretched run. We ran right into the 1166. That's where we added more short on the USO. Came back in, started a bull or a bearish flag, but still a macro bull up in here, but a macro or a micro bear. But then when they did the pop up here, they got all their shorts to give up basically, and they brought it right back down. Now we're below the oh, Tesoro. Yeah, I mean, if you could short after hours, short it after hours. I'm already in, so I posted it on Twitter. I think I'm in at, hold on. I don't know. I go to Twitter. I'd have to pull up my time and price and all that crap. I'm in again at 121.57 short. So basically what happened with Tesoro, we went to the room, we shorted at 119.90. I covered half at 114.96. I covered half of the half at 111.36. I wanted to let a quarter position run, and it popped right back up. So I'm adding more now. 121.57 is my price short, and let's do it again. That, you know, rinse and repeat. I'm about ready to be a perma bear. Yeah, you know, no, you don't have. You know what? There'll be time. They'll buy the dip again. That the Fed will come in and save the day. You know, they always do. But you know, but this time, you know, you get 4 or 5 big sellers coming in, and right now, guys, the big money banks, they're all short. They're heavy. The Qs, they are heavy short right now. So be aware of that. And each and every week, they're adding more to the shorts. So just be aware. And the Dow Jones, they are short big time on that. The S&P, they're not bad, but they are more on the short side. And the IWM's they're a little bit on the short side, but the Qs, they are heavy short right now. So it's a matter of time before this thing starts to break apart. But the USO, we're getting below the 20 MA here. We always talked about the weekly too, guys. What do we talk about? It gets above the, hold on. Got above the 50 and the 20 here. Never confirmed. Came right back in, but now we're holding the 382 on the way down. Let's see where we close this week. If we close below these little pivots here on Friday or even down in this area, that's telling me we have lower prices to come. That's why I'm telling you, let's look at the UUP real quick. Was the dollar up today? Nope. Nope. Unchanged. So really nothing on the dollar. Let's see where it's going here. Yeah, so you had a little bit of a pullback actually, and pretty much where it opened. So it did gap up, and that's what brought down oil a little bit too. But see how we went to the blue line, which is the 750 retrace. We almost got into my trend line there. Didn't make it, and that trend line comes from, you can see it better on the weekly. How about the IBB? Yeah, we can look at that. But there's the trend line coming from there. So the dollar, that, you know, we'll see where we're on the weekly. That could be a little topping tail here, but no volume. Let's see how that reacts. I still think we're going up to 25.87, and then actually this double top here around 26.12. And if that continues up, you know what's going to happen to the GLD. GLD again. Actually, the GLD caught a little bit today. I was out of the office most of the day, running around. I had some stuff to do. But yeah, so yeah, you look at that. Ran in the price. Closed right on top of the 20. Looks like it closed a little bit above the 20. So it's still a bearish pattern. Let's see if it goes. I still want to see lower prices. I personally think if everything sells, I think this will go back to the 118.83 area. Gap filled down here around the 115.73 and ultimately to 112.40. If it doesn't, then it's going to go up without me. You know, there's so many other stocks to trade out here. It doesn't really matter. But let's go back to Tesoro. I mean, I think they have some rumor about buyout or something. I'm not even really sure. So be careful with this one still. This can sit, you know, like the Humana where they had the buyout. It went straight up and then sat. Just be careful on these. I'm more following the monthly chart. This is just stretch. Once you get so far away from the 20 MA, it's time for this one to come back in. It could go up on more news. But the bottom line, the SPY starts to dump. this will come in regardless what news or whatever's happening. Actually, I got 122.55. Let's see. Hold on. Trade 118. Okay, that I got 415, but the last trade was at 18. Now you have a bid and ask. There's really nothing. You had a trade at 119.27, but nothing's really happening right now. It says my thing says 415 down, but right now, whatever, doesn't matter. Hey, good to see you too, Brian. Yeah, I've been this week's been brutal, man. My daughter's still sick. My wife, something's going on with her right arm and her tendons or something. So it's like it's a wreck. So I've been helping with the kids in the morning and the afternoon, and it's been a little bit crazy. Hey, good to see you guys too. You know, I enjoy doing this stuff, and like I said, I'm seeing stuff I can't. You know, I look at stuff all day, but you guys throw some good ones at me, and it's like, what the hell is that stock? You know, so. But let's see, the IBB, let's look at that one. Yeah, the IBB, again, monthly chart. This is ugly, guys. If this starts breaking down, you know, if you watch my videos, we're going to 200. We're probably, I'd say 165. You know, because look, this is down sideways, down, and then we close below this. That's bearish right there. They try to retrace this thing up. The only thing that's going to save this, if it gets above this red bar, which is at 331.56. But if you're, you know, I mean, biotechs are coming up with earnings, so anything's possible. The IBB bounces back up into the 300, 307 area, you can consider starting to short this thing again. But if this thing starts to break down, then what you'll want is if it breaks down, hits this lower trend line or lower area support, I'd wait for the retrace one more time and then short it again. But if the markets start breaking down, this thing's going to beeline right to 200 bucks easily. I still say 165 or so, but you know, and if this pattern plays out, it could be even uglier. Let's look at the daily, a little more of a short term. Daily, same thing though. I mean, you're weak, you're below all the MEAs. You have a big inside bar, which it closed below right here on this little doji. You got the doji, so everybody thinks it's going to reverse. They start buying, and this doesn't matter here. I mean, you got another doji, but you come off of a doji, you come off of the low pivot, and then boom, you come in, they get everybody sucked in again, and now they're slamming it in their face. You know, and I'm thinking at least 162.46. See if there's anything. You got the gap fill down here around 250, and ultimately 241 down in this area. You got a big gap fill around 241. Let's take a smaller. And right now, check this out though, guys. Now this is coming off this pivot fib and that fib. You're into the 750, and that's what's holding it. That breaks. That's pretty much your last line of defense here. But again, you're coming into earnings, but let's take a fib from here to here. You're holding the 6182 from the lower, from this high to that low. So that's the other level. So actually right around 250, 255, that might be an area, but you are setting up in a bearish pattern here. Let's look at the weekly. Let's just see, yeah, and the weekly you're holding the 200, and that's what's holding this thing up too right now. So if this thing keeps going sideways on the weekly and it starts going up, like I said, if you get a nice little retrace, short it up here, it starts to go, you know, we'll be looking for an area to buy this thing on a bounce. But we're going to have to line this up with the SPY. We're going to have to line it up with the IWM, the Qs, because if everything's dumping, it could go lower, guys. 164. Everyone's laughing at me probably. Like I told some guy today, Apple at 90. I think its head popped off. It's going right back down here. I don't know, where are we? 114.92. So we're coming into let's see, the daily. Coming into that gap fill again. Where is it? Well, right here, you got the low pivot, you got this low, you got the window right here at 1475. So tomorrow, you know, we're gonna get this thing up, and we'll see where we can get some possible bounce areas. But you know, you got this big gap fill, you got the gap fill, you got some lower pivots down in here with the 50 MA right around the 111.34 area. So we'll try to get a good scalp off this thing and try to get a bounce. Maybe if the SPY and everything's selling, then let it go. Just let it go, guys. Like the song. Any other symbols, guys? Anything you want me to look at? Let's look at Alta. If anyone was watching my stuff, remember this one when it popped up. We tell everyone, short it right here. Short it. We already covered, but actually I did buy some puts on this one, guys. I covered them today. That was epic. I covered them a little bit early. Once we hit this green line and we hit the 50 MA, I took them off the table. But what an epic. Right here, it was like, oh, geez, and then boom, boom, and today was the day. And since I sold my puts, I guarantee we're going lower. I'm still thinking 219 on this one, but when I make money in the markets, guys, I say thank you very much. On to the next one. So I took some of that. Well, I took it all off the table, but with the winnings from that one, then I actually got into Netflix a little bit more too. I actually bought a couple puts on Netflix, and it actually worked out pretty good. Almost got it at the high today. Pulled back. I'm already in the money. I didn't short Alta. Yeah, you know, and I posted charts. I posted shit on that day. I posted a bunch of crap. I said, I'm adding here share size. I did shares and puts. Because puts, I'd still do a small position, but let me tell you, that paid me pretty good right there. But I said, add it here. If it goes up the gap fill, add there. If you go back to double top, add it again. So just make sure you have enough in the tank just in case if it continues higher. And boom, never made it. And you know, the funny thing is, guys, and I'll explain this to you. So it goes up and up and up and up and up. Okay, gaps up on earnings, I think that was, and keeps going, keeps going. You start getting stretched again, stretched on the. Let's go to the monthly. What? Wow, another chart that's stretched. You know, geez, don't buy any like Nvidia, like NetEase, like Baba. Another one that's stretched is coming in, and this was the best one. You can't really see it on the monthly, but I just wanted to show you another stretched chart coming in. Holy shit! Holy cow, people! But this was the kill. This was like the dagger. So everybody who held here into earnings, I guess they had pretty good earnings, but not enough, not good enough for a flipping, you know, run like this. I mean, you know, I mean, really. In 2009, it was a $3 stock, and now it's 280. No way. You know, it's time for this one to come to an end. Sorry, the story's over. But so everyone who stayed in here, they didn't sell it, take their money, comes back in, everyone starts to panic. We told everybody that 228.62 it's probably going to come into. You got the lower pivot down here, never made it to the gap window, but barely. It started setting up in a bearish manner, and then the CEO comes out and does it. So everyone who held on, they all started dumping down here, going, oh, I'm just going to take my profit. I'm going to, oh, this is it. And then it pops up, and you know what everybody did? I guarantee you, this is what I used to do. Everyone who sold down here, they bought back here again. It sucks. Don't chase these things, guys. Come on. Pop on Twitter. I don't know. We'll take a look at that real quick. But guys, this is chasing. You know how many people bought back? So everyone who sold on this, sold down here, going, oh shit, I'm just going to take my profit. Then it pops up. They all bought back in again. And they're getting smeared again. But this is the bottom line on this one, guys. And this is why I took my sold my put today, because this is a big inside bar. This is where it should have some good support. If the markets break, this one's going to go to gap fill. It's going to go to that lower trend line or the gap window, and then it's going right here, and then I think it's going to fill the gap down in here. But if this thing doesn't bounce right here, this is really, really good support. I'm not going to be a buyer, but if this does not hold, it will go down. But if it does hold, we retrace back up into this area, I'm going to short this thing again. you know me, guys. What do I do if shit goes up, especially on earnings? We short it, especially at all-time highs. Just like Nvidia, just like NetEase, just like Baba, just like Facebook, Google, Amazon. Those all pop. Netflix we're short. Those pop. Boom, we're doing it. All right. So just be aware of that. Kind of like Netflix. I didn't go all out. I'm adding more shares. I'm adding. I did some puts. You know, I'm this one. When this thing falls, it will fall. Believe me. Yeah, the Disney rumor, the Twitter. Yeah, you know, turn it all off. Going to be in the money soon. Yeah, the DPZ, you got it. I'm short that one too. Actually bought some puts on that one too. So hold on. The puts I don't really say. The puts are a different beast. People don't really get them or calls or just options, so I don't really put those trades out there. But yeah, I mean I on the news, and then we added more. And then as it was going up, I bought some puts. I bought some puts yesterday. So, but coming up, you know, you got the even number of 167. So on every even number, it's going to be resistance. So on every even number, that's when you want to start adding shares. Puts are a little bit tougher, you know, and I'm already in the money on those, so that's good. If it pulls back a little bit more, I'm just going to take it. Even if it's 500 bucks, I'm out. Done. See you later. Yeah, right? Hold on. I don't know who that is. But AXP, yep. Hold on. Short it, yeah. Yeah, we need a StockBookie share, yeah, on the front, yeah. Exactly. If it goes up, short it. No, but that's where I'm at right now. You know, that's what I have to do. You know, especially with the markets where they're at right now. You got another one, DPZ. Remember all these high flyers, guys. Look at that. It might go a little bit more. I have another area up in here. Got the 175.26 maybe, but that will be my last. Like I said, if I get money on the puts, I'm just going to take it and run. If this goes up, I'll add more shares to this. Because shares, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to get depleted as the thing just sits there and does nothing. Yeah, I appreciate that, Brian. I know. If it, there's one too. If you take the staircase up and the elevator down, staircase up on the front, then the elevator on the back. Believe me, I have a bunch of trader friends, and we all will laugh at this stuff. And we got to get shirts or hats or whatever. But yeah, just be careful with these high flyers, guys. I mean, look at this. So yeah, DPZ, I think we're still okay on this one. I didn't like the fact that we did get above this tail here, and we did confirm on a daily basis, but now it's coming right back in. So I think this could have been a little bit of a shakeout here. Get the shorts out. You got to think that the shorts are getting crushed right here. They're like, oh my gosh, and then they tweak it up a couple days in a row. It's like, oh my gosh, margin calls, et cetera, et cetera. Then they got to get out. The next thing you know, there's nothing. It's still only a 600,000 shares on the day, so it is a light volume name. So you got to be careful of that one. But I think DPZ is ready to come back in. If the SPY and everything starts to come in, definitely. Especially if you're in a put in this one and we start hitting resist or support around 157, or we come into the 20 MA, start pulling some off. But if we do get some nice 3-4 nice days down, those puts should be paying us really good. Share size too. Shares, not so much, but shares will have to hold a little bit longer. I think, I'm not going to say anything yet. I mean, we got good support around 155, but again, if you only have 100 shares of this one, you get $10. It's $1,000. For me, I'll take that all day long. I'm not greedy, guys. When you start getting greedy, you start getting your butt kicked. Twitter's up after hours. Not more news. Let's see. Yeah, only 77 cents, so nothing crazy. But it is chopping around. But see how we had this bearish pattern underneath? They had to pop it above. We're still inside this. Well, it did close above the inside bar. Came right back in. Yeah, just stay away from this. It's a news-driven. News-driven. That's it. Just don't even do AA Steel. What's the symbol on that one? AXP. Hold on. Let's look at AXP. We're shorting that one too. So we're down there. Yeah. So this is another one. See how we got about 66.70. This was the next line of defense here. Boom, came right back in. But now we're into support at 66.70. So I want to see a close. I'd love to see it close below the 66.43. And I think we're going to be on here, guys. So just be patient with this one, just like the Microsoft one as well. Got to be patient. Microsoft goes in that double top from 2000. Shit, that's lights out, guys. For a technical trader, at least, you got to do that. But then see how you got the inside bar here too? Never got above it. If it does get above it and gets above this 20 MA right here, then you got to rethink this one. But make sure, like I said, make sure you have some more left in the tank. We did go into earnings. So let's see if it gets above maybe the $70 area, then we'll rethink this one and take a look at it. But right now, so far so good. We still need some action with the SPY going down, but I like this nice reversal. We came back in, but we are holding this area support right here. I bought December 65 spreads, ticker symbol. Oh, Alcoa. Yeah, I think this thing's going back to it. I said when it had earnings right before earnings, I was like, this thing's going back. What do they do, a 3-to-1 split or something like that, or reverse split or whatever they did, and then pops back up to 30. It's going right back to 11. Put spreads. Yeah, I don't really know how those work. If anything, I buy puts, I buy calls, I short calls, or I short puts. What is that? A put spread. I got to sit down with somebody so they could teach me this stuff. I get a lot of these questions. Bottom line, regardless what you got, let's see here. I could try to tell you at least where I think this thing's going. So you came up into this trend line here in Alcoa, came right back down. You're below all the MA. So if this thing sets up sideways, we're probably setting up to go lower. Next price on Alcoa is probably going to be around $18. But that's going to be with the markets if the markets sell. So watch for the retrace on here. You get a retrace. This is the areas you're going to have to start watching here. You're going to have to watch, see if it gets above the $29 to $30 level. If it gets above there and starts coming in this trend line, you got to see if it pops through here. If it pops through here, then you might be in trouble. But at this point, this trend line's holding. We had a nice red bar there on the weekly. You get a red bar like this, you're probably looking for a retrace, and then the next red bar coming in. The SPY and everything starts to dump. It's all coming in regardless. So see, just want to make sure this stays below the 50 and the 20 and the 200. And it would be nice if it could stay below this green line right here, which is around 28 bucks. But if it starts creeping up, just be careful, but keep an eye on the SPY. If the SPY starts to come in, this will come in as well with it. That's why I say everything's a market trade, guys. SPY dumps, it's all over. Unless you have earnings or some bullshit news or something like that, then you got to be careful with that. But yeah, right now, so you're looking at December. Oh, wait a second, that's on, which one is that one? Jeremy. Oh, AXP. Yeah, AXP 65 to 60. Where do you need that one to close? The 65-60 to put spreads to make money by December. Where does that one have to close? And that's the AXP. Is there an area? Yeah, well, we could get the Amazon. That's no problem. So let's see here. And the put 65 puts. So you want to be down in here basically around 60 bucks. You know, you have a nice pop. You do have resistance up in here. We're gonna have to see how this thing reacts. What we're looking for on this one, need XP below 65. Okay, preferably. Okay, yeah, you should by December, correct? Like I said, I'm still learning I had never really played options other than, like I said, did a lot of writing calls and writing puts. That's what I love to do. But I'll buy a put, I'll buy a call depending on the situation. But I like just to let the premium bleed when I short the call or short a put. Let's see here. Yeah, right now you got to see this thing. If we could get this thing chugging along, get below this gap fill 66.25. And start heading towards these moving averages if we could get through. And the big thing is if we could get this SPY to freaking dump out. I mean, we're running on 65 million shares today. Again, light volume crap, so they can hold this thing up. So you got to be careful. So yeah, by December, I think these markets are going to go. But come December, though, the problem is that you're going to have the light volume, the Santa Claus rally crap. And the only reason we get a Santa Claus rally because there's no volume. And that's why, if you look on the SPY, that's why we've been just hanging around for 3.5 months doing nothing because there's no volume, period. So it's just hard to say. But yeah, hold on to this one. I still think we're short this one too. So I'm thinking we're going to get lower prices. Let's go to monthly just to see. Yeah, and you got this big inside bar. Until we're above this inside bar here at 68 bucks, this one's not going anywhere. Damn, and my volume disappeared again. Everyone's watching my videos. Let's see here. Edit chart. I don't know why it keeps disappearing. And then I go in there and nothing comes up. All right, hold on. Volume. Oops. I mean, that's an important tool for me as well, guys, is volume. You got to really watch it all come up now. It's unbelievable. All right, so let's close that. See the volume candle on this one? See all that volume in here? Until it goes up on volume like that, it's not getting through that spot. I mean, it's been chugging around. You do have a bullish pattern here on the monthly, but until we get above that bar, I don't think it's going anywhere. That's my opinion, of course, but I've seen a lot of charts like this, and but we want the markets to dump. The SPY, that would just help the matter, a lot more. You got to go with you got to go with everything else, and everything's pretty buoyant right now and just sticking around like the SPY and the IWM, not really doing anything. And that's why these stocks are going up and down, and there's no conviction on the indexes. And when there's no conviction on the indexes, guys, they're going to make stocks go up like Amazon and Google and NVIDIA, and they're going to hype them. They're going to hype them all to the highs and get everyone in there. And then everyone, nobody gets why, so AXP, yeah, stick with this one. Like I said, we're short, so we're going to ride that one too. BZ. Any more symbols, guys? Throw them in there. I'm going to run this a little bit longer here. VZ, yeah, VZ, let me tell you. Monthly chart's looking pretty ugly. This one held on and held on and held on and held on, let me tell you, right through here. Through 2016, and then boom, coming right back in. So let's look on the daily really quick. Yeah, daily's ugly, man. I mean, we got below all the MAs now. This was a nice bearish setup right here. They had earnings. You know, with earnings, you can't really play it, but the bear setup is playing. So let's see. And we're still getting some volume. A lot of people are dumping. So you know a lot of people came in here. But look at this guy. This is just like the Tesla chart. Moves up, comes back, inside bar, smash. Retrace here, right in the gap fill, comes back in, tries to retrace again, and just steer steps down. Oh, wait a second here. Oh no, this is the one we were talking about if we had a head and shoulder pattern. But hold on here. Wow, this thing's getting freaking whacked. Weekly. Weekly, you're probably looking at 47 bucks. So far, I mean, this is just a retrace up there, 47. Let's see if we could find anything else. Yeah, you got a big long bar there. I mean, you could actually get the 39 for 43.79, the slow pivot. You got this slow pivot down here too, around 42, if this thing really starts to go. The bottom line on this one, BZ, we'll see where it closes on a weekly basis. If it does close around here this week on Friday around the 47, then I would probably expect a retrace back up and then another dump out. If this thing continues down, we're definitely going to 43.79. I wouldn't rule out this pivot here at 42.22. I'm thinking about setup for a long position for V. I would wait till the 43.79 or this pivot here, 42 bucks. You got to line this thing up with the SPY, and it's coming off of a high pivot in the sell. That's ugly. You know, we might get a retrace here, but like for me, I wouldn't take a chance long. Because say you go long down here at 47 bucks. Not bad support. You got this pivot down in here. Not the best, not the worst. You know, maybe give it a shot. But what happens if you wake up that morning and SPY's gapping down, you know, 70, 80 points and the whole market's falling apart? You think this is going to go higher because we're in support, or you think this thing's going to get creamed and probably go to 43.79? And that's why you got to just wait patiently, guys. I'm even liking this pivot down here. I mean, this is the flash crash. I don't know if we'll get that low. That's 38 bucks, but you never know. Right now, this is what was happening here. You had light volume crap, and then you had the flash crash, and that's what took this thing down so low. So you got to be careful in these, especially when you're coming off of a high pivot and it's just selling. We're below all the moving averages on the weekly. See on the monthly. Monthly, we're almost below the 50 and the 20 on the monthly. I mean, this is looking ugly. I mean, honestly, this could go to 40 bucks. So just be careful. Don't do it yet. You want to see a good slacking in the SPY first. Let the SPY dump out, and then once the SPY starts catching a bid, you know, say the SPY dumps out to 200, when that thing starts running, then you want to look at the ones that keep selling. Then you're looking for the longs on those plays. Say the SPY hit 200, it's bounced $5 already, and this one continues down. Eventually, that first area of support, that blue line that we showed, this one right here, right there, that's going to be good support. As long as the SPY's bouncing up off of good support, and say the SPY's been running for 5 days, this is going down for 5 days. When that hits a good support area, that's going to follow because the SPY's been bouncing. That's how I play that. Amazon, you're going into earnings. No way. I'm not doing it. I mean, you can if you do. What do I tell you guys when you want to put the bets on? What are you willing to lose? If you want to do $1,000 put, I mean, I looked at puts today, and they're all around 3-4 grand going into November, December, I believe. I don't. They're 30 bucks, 20 bucks. You know, at the price, a little higher. You know, even if you went to 800, they're still at I think 30 bucks, I think, or something. So for me, I for 3 grand, I'm not. You know, I can risk that loss, but you know what? I'd rather take my kids to Disneyland than to risk it on one trade where it's a 50-50 shot. I'll go to the casino with the 3 grand and have a good night with some drinks and some friends and some good food and play it that way. But right now, anything can happen with this one. They drove it up for 2 days. He had a nice little pullback today. They bounced it back up. Just be careful with the Amazon here. Yeah, you know, you're at tops, you're going into earnings. Like I said, if this thing gaps up, I'm adding more shorts. Then I'll buy it. Then I'll do some puts, or I'll write some calls. But right now, no way. I'd rather see this thing pop up, you know, 70, 80 bucks. And I am short this one already. Short shares only, small position. And if it goes down, I'll already be in it. If it goes up, I'll add more. That's how I'm playing this one. Or if it pops up, The puts, kind of like Netflix, I would wait a couple days, or you can add one just in case the next day it comes crashing down. But you got to remember, like Netflix, you had to play that one slow and easy. And FLX. So it pops up, I mean, this is where we started adding shorts, and then added more, at the even numbers or what have you. And I think there was another pivot up in here somewhere, and then, when it got up to 127, boom, that's when you got to start thinking about doing puts. But shares, you're not going to really lose anything on, other than holding it, mirroring the stock for a little while and doing something like that. But yeah, I mean, this thing got a little doji on the daily. I don't know if that means anything, but I want the SPY to start dumping. We get the SPY dump, it's going to be epic. But yeah, you come into this high pivot here, you got to add something there. You have to. The next area I'll add more here, and then I'll be in not a full position, but I'll be in a pretty good healthy position on this one. Just going to click over and go right back down, guys. It's Netflix, guys. Come on. Come on, it's just more hype. Hype that damn thing up and keep it going, and next thing you know, everything's going to fall. It's down 41 cents after hours, no big deal. But yeah, just hold on the Amazon, the Googles, the Facebooks. Let them pop up. But let me tell you, this was a nice engulfing candle on Google today, and it closed below this low pivot too. That's an ugly little reversal there. But again, we're going into earnings on Thursday, so I mean, look at that, gaps up and then bam, all day long. Jeez, kind of like Alta, same thing. Kind of went down, bounced up, came in, but everything was going with the SPY. So see how it came in, then it bounced up. Here, check out the SPY 10-minute. Bounced in, bounced up, came in. Let's go back to Amazon or Google. Same thing. Bounced in, came up, bounced in, came up. That's a bearish pattern. Let's see if it plays out tomorrow. But yeah, so that's what I'm seeing in these. Facebook too. Facebook keeps going up and up, getting what do all the small retail traders do on hype? They chase this stuff. It was down today $1, but they're chasing this shit. It's Facebook. They got to have good earnings, and even that one had a pretty good reversal today. Got to be careful on this, and then you go to the monthly. Another stretch charts, guys, and this one's not terrible. I'd love to see man, if this thing has good earnings and pops to 150. That's like a dream come true for me at least. J&J, let's look at that one. J&J, same thing, a little bit of a high flyer. See how it got extended from the 20 right here, and see how it's coming back in. So right now, let's stick a fib in there. Let's see here. So we have the 200 MA on the daily holding this thing up. Nice sell off from the high. And this is what I'm noticing too on 3M. They're all coming into July, and all these are starting to sell. The 3Ms, the J&J, all those, probably Procter and Gamble at what's that, P&G, I think. I haven't looked at that one, but look at this. Comes in. What's that? A bearish pattern, sideways pattern. They pop it up one last time into the 50 MA. See how they pop it up in there? Oh, there it goes. It's a breakout, and then boom, bearish pattern. Boom, boom, boom. Holding the 618 right here, and the 200 moving average. That breaks, you're probably going to gap fill right here. 110, and then another one, high flyer. Ultimately, I think right here, you're going to go, hold on. 110.94, gap fill, 110.21, then ultimately around the 106.46 if this starts to break. Let's look on the weekly. Yeah, weekly's just ugly. Gosh. You're going to have some support right around here at 110 if this thing comes straight shot. But if it retraces back up into the 20 MA, and if you're long, I'd probably start thinking about taking money off the table if it retraces back up. If you're long, protect that trade. Definitely. AMD, yeah, I hear you. What is the next support level for Celgene? All right, hold on a second, guys. Hold on here. I got my wife out of commission. That could be her. Hold on. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to end this one in about 5 minutes. I gotta take my daughter to one of her classes. So, but let's do this real quick here. Celgene support. Yeah, J&J. Just be careful with this one. You're gonna have support around 110 or so. If you're long in it, tighten that stop. If it retraces back up here, take some off the table. Sell, Gene. No problem, David. You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to try to do it tomorrow. I think I'm going to have some more time. Sell, Gene, support. You got support right here around 94.37. You got, you know, 93.89. Or actually, I'll come back to the shop later. I'll do another live session possibly. I just got to go pick up my daughter and drive her to. She sings in a choir, so. Let's see here. Yeah, around 93, 94. That's a weekly though. If that cracks, then you know, earnings I think are coming up on this, so that could be a, you know, that could be a play too. But if this really starts to go, you're looking at gap fill right in here around 88.27, and then this low pivot here around 83.37. Let's throw a quick fib. Yeah, guys, I got to roll here. Yeah, you got the 618 right in here, and then 750 right here, 85.31. So yeah, be careful with this one. If you do get a bounce off this, or if it does go up on earnings, then definitely take some profits off or do something. But then resistance will be up here, right around the 117.88. Even up in here, it's pretty good too, around the 111.28. All right, guys, I got to cut this one short. I think I might come back. I don't know what time. We'll have to see how it goes. But everyone, thanks again for coming to the live session. I think I'm going to do one tomorrow, hopefully around noon New York time, 9 o'clock Arizona time. Let's go through some charts. Try to go through some charts tonight, guys. Look at some high flyers. Let's try to find some of these shorts so we can make some money. Longs, there'll be a time and a place for a long. And when we do get the longs, you know, they're going to come in and buy the dip with the Fed and everything. They're going to shoot everything up. So I'm waiting patiently for these charts to set up. So if we get some good areas for a long, we're going to load the house, you know, not only 10% of our portfolio, guys, and then we'll ride this stuff up. All right, guys. Hey, thanks again for coming, and we'll try to make something happen later on today. If not, then we'll try to do something tomorrow. Again, thanks for watching my videos. God bless. See you on the charts, guys.